Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Woah podcast. Today we'll be covering all things the great outdoors. Just real quick before we get into it, we will be talking about hunting, fishing, shooting. If that is something that you don't necessarily want to hear, we'll have Aaron drop timestamps in the description to kind of be able to get you to fast forward through it. So we'll start off with our introductions. Let's go around the table, boys.
Got your boy double A to the Ron here.
Hey, it's Max.
And this is Steven. We want to start the episode off by saying a thank you to the people of visitwinona.com and at visitwinona on Instagram. The perfect blend of urbanity and old world charm surrounded by breathtaking beauty. Yes, one city really can have it all. Lucky us and lucky you too. Visit at visitwinona and visitwinona.com today to see everything this one city has to offer. I want to start things off here by kind of firing it around the table. And let's just kind of talk about when we go outside, when we think of outdoor activities, what do you guys like to do?
I don't know. Love camping, just pretty much all the time. I would say fishing, but that requires a fishing license. I haven't had that since I needed one. So,
Not if it's private property.
well, that's about the only little bit of fishing I do.
Well, then you're good.
But yeah, no, and then used to love kayaking. Yeah, haven't done it in a while, but big kayaking and hiking guy.
Okay. Aaron, how about you?
I mean, shooting is probably the biggest one, but you don't have to do that outside. You can do it inside, but it's frowned upon. Kayaking, if I could, transport a kayak, but I don't have a truck, so I don't have a kayak, so I can't kayak. In camping, if I could just live outside, that'd be great.
Just stay outside all the time?
Forever, yeah.
Forever?
Yeah.
Well, interesting that you bring that up because later on we're going to go around the table and talk about how long we think we could do that.
Forever.
Aaron thinks forever, so we'll definitely call back to this, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I'm sure.
I mean, that's fine. I said what I said.
You gonna stand by it?
I'm going to stand by it.
All right, we'll see.
Forever.
We'll see.
Steve?
So for me, hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, as well. I would say of all of those, kind of growing up, my number one was probably fishing.
Same.
As I've gotten older, I do a lot less fishing than I used to, but I really enjoy camping. In fact, if you guys jump over to at Woah Pod on Instagram, you can see a picture that we posted from when the three of us went camping last time. Just a shot of us kind of walking through the woods trying to find a good spot. Again, Woah Pod on Instagram. We kind of talked hunting. We've kind of laid out kind of what we like to do. So let's jump into hunting here and kind of talk about the upcoming deer season. We are, as we record this, we are less than a month away.
Are
from
we now?
deer season? So deer season is open. We're less than a month away from rifle and shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Which is what we care about.
Which is what we care about. So Aaron and I, for the viewers, Aaron and I will be hunting together this year. So Aaron, what are you looking forward to most about the upcoming deer season?
I am going to decrease the deer population by whatever's legal. However many I can bring home is how many I'm bringing home.
So in our state, great state of Indiana,
4 apiece, right? Or 3 apiece?
It's 3 apiece. You get a buck and 2 doe.
Okay.
So there will be 6 deer in the back of your truck when we come back.
I certainly hope so.
I'm not leaving until there is.
Are you just going to camp the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
High expectations.
Very high expectations.
One of 2 things is going to happen.
Okay.
Deer season is going to end, or I'm going to be coming back with 6 deer. Whichever happens first.
All right.
I'm not leaving. Thanksgiving, sayonara. I'm staying.
So Max, let's throw it to you. Do you plan on doing any hunting this season?
I would love to. I don't actually currently have my hunter's license. It was something I wanted to do when I was younger. Just never got around to my dad and I actually going through with it all. But no, I will not be doing that this season unless I can somehow hop on it real quick.
I mean, you have time.
you do have time, and since COVID, everything's pretty much done online.
Yeah.
So whenever you, in order for those of you guys who don't know, I'm pretty sure this is true nationwide, but I know at least for Indiana,
Okay.
you have to complete a hunter's education course.
God, it was so stupid.
It's long, it's boring. It really, I kind of, the way I described it is it's kind of geared towards people who have never practiced any kind of firearm safety.
It's
Um,
literally like they think anyone that's going to go hunting has never touched a gun before in their life, and the first time they buy one, they think, I should just shoot stuff with it.
So there's parts of it that if I were to take it would be very just boring.
So
The whole-
the entire time, I did not actually do any of it. I just let it play, and then I did the test at the end.
Same.
It's common sense.
It
Like,
really is.
If you load your gun, where should you point it? A, your face. B, your stomach. C, the ground. Or C, a safe place. Or D, a safe place to aim.
Right.
I wonder
It's-
where.
It really is that. I mean, it is that bad.
All right.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's rough.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah. So you take care of that. You get a hunter's ed ID number, and then you go to Indiana DNR. You put your
Okay.
hunter's education ID in, and it lets you get your full hunting license.
It's very confusing if you actually get a license or not. Because I got that thing in the mail, like the paper.
Right.
And then I got the 2 cards, but the cards are from the education place, not DNR.
Right. So the
So-
hunter's ed is a card.
Yeah.
The hunting and fishing license, which I got the combo, so did you, right?
Yeah, it's just the paper.
It's just the paper.
Do I have to carry that thing
Yes.
Yeah.
around? I'm
Yeah.
gonna have
I
to
know
find
that
it.
much.
You can go online and reprint it.
Oh, well, I mean, I have it somewhere. I just
So-
don't know.
So is that pretty much all you got to do?
That's
Yeah.
all you got to do.
Really?
And then,
What
of
is it,
course,
like
buy your tags.
$25?
Find your tags?
Something like
It was
that.
like $25 for the fishing and the hunting for a year.
And then $20 for hunter's ed.
Yeah.
And once you've completed hunter's ed, you're good. You don't have to
You never have to
do
do
it
it
again.
again.
Okay. You just what?
Renew
have-
your license.
Renew your license,
every year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
They should have a lifetime.
because I had some buddies who did hunting back when I was in like grade school and high school, but I never really talked to them much about it. What I know you have to get tags, but what's the process there?
So you can go places like Rural King. I'm pretty sure you can do it online.
You can go to the butcher shop and get them.
You can go to the butcher
Like
shop.
weird,
Really?
weird
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Huh.
So all you do is you go, you buy your tag
Okay.
or your tags rather, and then you keep those on you while you're hunting.
All
and
right.
then if you successfully shoot and kill a deer, you put the tag on it. You have to put I believe the county it was shot in,
Okay.
the date.
Yep.
And then I'm sure you have to put like your license number or something like that. So when you take it to turn it in and get it processed and things like that, you have to be able to show proof that you're licensed, you purchased the tag,
Right.
and things like that. So
Speaking of that, I got an email the other day from Indiana DNR saying that if I kill any deer this year, they would like that. But also, if I would like to send off a sample of said deer to get COVID tested, that's allowed. And they would like that as well.
what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll cook it hot enough that the virus dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
but if your deer have COVID, be sure to wear a mask while you're hunting.
Well, conveniently for me, I've got one of those like full face deals where the eyes open.
Oh, nice.
And if the gators work, so do that.
yeah.
So, here's an interesting thing. Do you guys know how they set the limit for deer?
By the population. I mean, the population's been
Do they-
we've been
do they have a-
overpopulated with deer since like
Do
what,
they have a
80s?
yearly census for the deer?
No,
No.
it's set by insurance companies.
What?
Yeah, based on claims for deer-related accidents.
The thing is, we've had an overpopulation of deer since
How?
forever.
I don't know how it works, but that's how it's set. The insurance companies in each state set it.
I wonder if they set it to the point where there'll still be enough to destroy things.
Have accidents?
Well, the insurance companies don't want it. I'm surprised the insurance company don't come out and make some kind of report and be like, you can kill 12.
That
Yeah.
still wouldn't be enough. Like I saw something like with how overpopulated we are in most states.
Right.
You could have every single person that hunts currently go out and kill 100 every year. Wouldn't make a dent.
That's crazy. So okay, so we've gone over deer hunting. Let's talk about, and this is probably not something that gets talked about very often. So the particular place that we go, private property, huge beaver problem
Oh yeah.
at where we go.
Mhm.
So we have permission from the property owner to hunt beavers. So I'm going to throw it to Aaron because Max, you have gone with us. Aaron and I
Yeah.
went, just him and I, the first time.
We've
we
gone
went-
3 times.
Well,
At
right,
least.
right. But the first time we went, it was just you and I. So I want to hear what Aaron thought about whenever we decided we were going to hunt beaver.
So we've gone 3, 4 times maybe. Now,
Right.
Max, guess how many beaver we've killed?
1.
No, 0. We've killed
0.
none. Yes.
Well, I know there was 0 when I was there.
Yeah, none. They don't
But-
come out. They just hide forever and dumb. 1, we destroyed their dam. We went down
Yeah.
there and destroyed it. Next time, if we go beaver hunting again, I'm bringing 15 pounds of tannerite, and I'm blowing it sky high.
Well, that'll do it.
That
It might
That's a
kill the beaver
lot.
too while I'm at it.
Yeah. So we've heard them,
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I've
but
heard 'em.
again, so the
It's
interesting
so dark.
it's so dark, and that's what I was going to bring up. Is you kind of expect when you're out in the middle of nowhere, moon, clear as can be. I'm convinced the moon doesn't come out in this part of.
I'm convinced
the
the moon doesn't exist.
out there.
It's just put up on the sky by the powers that be in certain areas. But they don't think anyone's out there, so they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't worry about it.
No, I mean, I thought we were good the time we went out there because it was, what, beginning of this year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
There
was
about
supposed to be a
March,
full
wasn't
moon.
it March?
Something like that.
Yeah, it
'Cause
was
it was
like a full
cold.
moon. There were no leaves on the trees. I was like, oh, we'll have great vision tonight. And then the
No.
moon just, I don't know where it went.
Doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Nothing.
It doesn't exist.
So here's an
crazy.
interesting thing about that. So they set up, the people who own the property set up beaver traps. You know what they caught one time?
What?
They caught an otter.
Yeah.
Really?
hmm
And otters are smart. So they caught it. They realized they caught it. They had to look into, because it was an accident.
Right.
So they had to look into like the laws for otters and things like that.
yeah.
And private property, of course, kind of helps. But it happened to be the season to trap otter. So
Well, that's lucky.
yeah, it
Convenient.
was very lucky. So they go back, they do all their stuff, and they come back to the trap, and this otter had worked its way out. It worked
Really?
its way out of the trap. It was crazy, crazy.
I was gonna say I've never heard. I have heard of otter hunting. I actually have somebody, a friend of my wife's, her man, actually just this last year, went out and did some otter hunting, both for. It seems like you can. I can't remember the numbers, but you can do X amount for actual like your personal hunting, and then you're allowed X amount that you then turn into DNR
Mhm.
for research.
Yeah,
COVID.
So
it's crazy.
no, not COVID.
Not
Not
COVID?
COVID research.
Probably COVID.
Not
research
that I
now.
was told.
They can call it the otter strain.
The otter strain.
That'd be when we get to O.
Oh, for otter.
Oh, COVID.
The COVID otter variant.
Somebody ate an otter, and now we have COVID.
So another thing, so we've done the beaver hunting up there. We're looking forward to deer season. Another thing we're looking forward to, especially where we go, because it's a huge problem up there. We're actually going to try our hand at coyote hunting, which we've kind of tried before, but we were never in the right time. Again, with it being private property, you're not kind of beholden to the season necessarily,
Right.
because in this particular place, they are a nuisance. There's way too many of them. People used to go up there and squirrel and rabbit hunt. And that was something that was always interesting to me. When we would go up there, I would never see squirrels. There's trees everywhere. You never see
Never
squirrels.
see a squirrel.
No, I've never
You
seen.
see
one
plenty of
squirrel.
rabbits, though.
I've
You do
seen
see
one
rabbit.
rabbit.
Yeah.
I've seen at least one rabbit.
So
I know you have.
so
And
you
no
so
longer exists.
they used to go squirrel hunting up there all the time. They don't anymore because the coyotes have gotten so bad. So we set up, we were trying to coyote hunt, blah, blah, blah. Again, we weren't in, it just wasn't the right time of year. It's too hot. We heard
Right.
them, but they weren't overactive, things like that. So this winter, actually, coyote season has opened up already. It opens up in October.
Why are we here right now?
Because we have a job to do
Okay, but we could record this up there
while hunting for
while
coyotes.
hunting, and the viewers might be annoyed if they hear loud shots, but coyotes got to
just,
get
you know,
coyotes.
sitting here chit chatting mid sentence.
Right.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
So we're gonna try our hand. Coyote season's kind of long. It's like October to is it March?
January,
Is it
February.
January?
Wow.
Yeah, it's long.
It's like
I
all
didn't think
winter.
it'd be that big of a season.
yeah,
Because they're terrible. Nobody likes coyotes.
and
Yeah, so I
they're
hear.
bad. They're just so bad up there.
Well, yeah, because I remember we had one sniffing around the tent one time.
Yep.
And then another time around the hammocks.
Yep.
And then another time I was out by the outhouse just walking around, and I definitely heard multiples out in the field, maybe like 60 yards away.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was like, and I'm going
Yeah,
back
they're-
inside.
And they're not scared of anything. If they think there's food there, they're there.
See, I've heard, I mean, I don't know about up there. I'm sure it all differs, but I've heard that for the most part, like coyotes are a little easier to scare away. They're not possum easy.
They're really easy to scare away unless there's food.
Yeah.
Like if you
that
have
makes sense.
a rabbit call and
Yeah.
a little thing that spins around on top that looks like a rabbit tail,
All right.
they will caution to the wind.
Yeah, they don't.
They're there
Really?
for it.
They don't like deer. Like if you're doing like the calls and you're doing the antlers and all that, deer will kind of like sneak around and kind of look and see what's going on. Coyotes will dead sprint if they think it's food and they think
Really?
yeah.
They come
Because I've kind
buzzing.
of heard, like, you know, people automatically think of them more like that, like with wolves. But then I've heard that, like, some people say that coyotes are completely different. They're like a lot more skittish than wolves.
They are, but again, if they think that there's
Well, it's
food-
usually in winter because in winter there's not very much food.
Okay.
So
that
the
makes
moment they
sense.
hear food, they're like, "I'm there."
Oh, okay.
yeah. So you have to really be cognizant of where you position yourself.
Because they'll come running right up
That's
on
fair.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to tell the direction they're at whenever they're howling.
you. With all the
Yeah.
hills and stuff, it just bounces off everything.
Yeah,
You
so-
don't know where it's at.
So you got head on a swivel when you're
Oh, yeah.
when you're
I mean,
hunting.
most people
coyotes.
hunt with a rifle, but they keep a shotgun next to them
Right.
because they might be like on you, like
That
in a
makes
heartbeat.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, and there's never just one.
no.
No. Definitely a pack animal.
So okay.
So you can try to get two first,
Well, yeah.
get a couple at the same time.
So okay. So for coyote hunting, Aaron, what's your weapon of choice for the coyote hunt?
Well, I have one weapon of choice, but I have a new weapon on the way. That's going to be my new weapon of choice. So which one do you want? Or do you want both?
That's fine.
Okay. I have my AR in 5.56, the 16-inch barrel. That will be my weapon of choice for now, until my new AR shows up in 6.5 Grendel.
That'll do the trick.
Yeah,
Well, probably do it.
I mean, it has more armor piercing capability than 308 up to 1,200 yards, so I think it'll be fine.
yeah, you're probably good.
I think it'll be fine.
Right. Max, if you were hunting coyotes, what are you?
I mean,
You
right
do
now,
got that shotgun.
yeah, right now, just based off what I have, I'll probably be bringing my 12 gauge. I mean, I'd love to pick up, you know, an AR or a 308 or something, but as far as what I could currently bring with me, yeah, I'd be packing my 12 gauge with me.
Yeah, so I would, no question, I'm going to go with the Bushmaster AR-15, 5.56 for me. You want 30-round mag. Hope a pack of them shows up.
100-round double drum.
Hope 100-round
Oh.
double drum. All right, so deer hunting. Aaron, we'll go back. Same question. Whenever we deer hunt this year, what are you gonna
I'm gonna
use?
take my 308 Remington 700, but in the future I could just use that 6.5 Grendel.
You could,
It might just be my all-around gun
Yeah.
for hunting.
right?
Anything, rabbits, 6.5 Grendel.
Wait. Where's the rabbit? Nowhere.
No,
Exactly,
no.
yeah.
Bullet hits it.
Yeah, it
I mean,
disappears.
6.5 Grendel's not that big.
No,
Like
No,
if you look
but
at it,
for a
I mean,
rabbit,
it's got a lot of velocity though.
yeah.
yeah.
It's coming out like over 3,000 feet per second.
Wow.
Yeah, quick boy.
So Max, you gonna do the same? You going shotgun, deer slug?
Yeah, I mean, ideally,
Deer's-
especially with deer, like, yeah, I'd probably
Very
rather.
inaccurate. I guess
rather be going with a 308 or something in that range there. But yeah, probably my 12 gauge again with some rifled slugs.
Yeah.
I
I'm
just
going.
don't trust slugs for like past 50 yards.
I mean, they make rifled slugs.
I know, but like, how far is it really accurate?
Well, you
Well,
have to find that out before you go deer hunting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, according to a little video I watched the other day, I can't remember the yardage, but it was way more than 50 yards, and this guy was pinging metal targets like it was nobody's
I mean, I
business.
guess it's possible. I just haven't hunted anything other than with buckshot or birdshot.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so for me, deer hunting 308, Savage Arms, Axis 2.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless.
That's a free ad. We always swore we wouldn't do free ads, but God, I love my gun. I love it. So that's what I'll use for deer hunting. Okay, so I want to hear from you guys about what a dream hunt. If money is not an object,
Okay.
time is not an object,
Do I get whatever gun I want?
any gun you want,
Okay.
if you could do any hunt, let's keep it in North America. So any hunt in North America, what would it be?
I want to go bear hunting in Alaska
Okay.
All right.
with like
I
something
mean, I get it.
ridiculous. Like a 700 Nitro Express. That's what I want.
Bear hunt in Alaska, 700 Nitro Express.
Yeah. And I'll stay there for 6 weeks. I may kill a bear in the first 3 days, but I'll stay there for 6 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
That
You're
would
in
be
Alaska.
fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Mine's actually kind of in the same vein. So it's
Really?
a bear hunt, but in Canada. So I had a group of friends who, or a couple of guys that I know that went with a group of friends to a place outside of Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Oh,
And they
okay.
would bear hunt up there, and just, it sounds like it'd be so much fun. I either want to do that or I want to go with swamp people down,
What?
down in Louisiana, and I want to hunt gators.
There it is. All right. I get it.
From what I've seen, gator hunting doesn't look like it's as fun, though.
Well, no, I mean, it's not
You're
like,
not like stalking your
No.
prey or anything.
Yeah,
You're
it's a
like,
little more
just
of a
hope one
trapping
gets close,
situation.
and then you pull it up and shoot it in the head.
a very specific spot about the size of a quarter.
It's like a mob execution.
It's fine. I want to do it.
A mob execution?
No, the gator
Because
hunt.
we can arrange that.
I want to do
but
the
I mean,
gator
to
hunt.
pull one of those creatures, like, even after,
One of those dinosaurs into your boat.
yes, like you're pulling a dinosaur into your boat. You just killed a dinosaur and pulled it into your boat.
I only picked Alaska and not Canada because I don't like their gun laws.
Right. So there was like a whole laundry list of things that they had to do to get through with all their
You have
stuff.
to do like a whole inspection at the border
Yeah,
and all that.
But they said it really wasn't that much of a pain.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Well, you
Huh.
have to take something that you know that they're okay with.
Right. You
Like,
know
you
you can't
can't-
take pepper spray. In Canada, pepper spray is illegal.
What?
What?
Yeah.
But you can own hunting rifles.
Yeah. Pepper spray is illegal.
That's
Okay,
insane.
so here's the thing. I heard a comedian talk about this, and after I say this, we're going to jump to Max for his dream hunt.
Okay.
But that reminded me of it. So there was a comedian who was talking about how he carried pepper spray rather than a gun. Or no, I'm sorry. He carried a gun rather than pepper spray because with a gun, he would at least think about it. If somebody, he said something to the effect of, if somebody took the parking spot,
Yeah.
Pepper spray.
pepper spray. He didn't
Pepper
care who they were. Granny, doesn't matter. But if he's got a gun, he'd go, maybe not.
And then
Maybe not. I respect that a lot.
Yeah. All right, Max, what's your dream hunt?
I don't know. I'd probably have to say elk hunting out there, and like elk hunting or bison. I think would be cool.
Would you make
That would be
bison
cool.
burgers?
I mean, probably.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Go out there, and like kind of out west towards like Colorado and Montana and like that, and that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that does sound like fun. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. Okay, so whenever we opened this episode, I kind of said something about a disclaimer for hunting. I do think this is an important question and something important to cover. I know that in some areas, hunting kind of gets a bad rep. People who aren't necessarily fans of guns or fans of killing animals, things like that. And I want to say, if you're just doing it to take something's life, then I agree. But I think it's important to cover while we're talking about hunting the reasons that we hunt. So Max, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Why is hunting important to you, and why is it something that you're interested in that you want to do moving forward?
Well, I don't know. It's something I've always been interested in. Just like there's a small feeling about it that I can't quite fully explain. I don't know if like you get that. It's just something that's always kind of attracted to me, but it's not the point of like taking of the life. I know we have plenty of grocery stores and restaurants and everything, but the aspect of like, using everything from the animal, like kind of have that old school feel of things and like getting food from it, that kind of appeals to me. Also being able to, like how we mentioned earlier, like population control, because then if an animal becomes overpopulated, then that affects the whole ecosystem. And also paying for your tags, your license, doing stuff like that, whether it's fishing, hunting, anything like that. That gives DNR and the state money to continue to keep these parks and woodland areas both protected and, the animals safe until you go hunt them, of course.
Right. Aaron?
Within restrictions.
Yeah.
I'm going to branch off a little bit here. One, it's for the meat and, to feel back like we were thousands of years ago where we hunted for the food that we get. But the excitement of it, the skill that you have to have of being able to stalk your prey and all the other stuff. And let's be real, the only reason it's legal is not so people can have cheap meat. It's legal because it has to happen.
Right.
They
Right.
have to be killed because otherwise, the way that we've moved in and taken over all this land and all this stuff, the animals that used to kill them are not as prevalent. So, like in our state, and I'm pretty sure every other state where deer are around, they're everywhere. There's way too many of them. And even if they opened up hunting all year long, there would still be way too many of them because DNR 40 years ago didn't do that great of a job in estimating how many deer they thought would be here. And now 40 years later, there's 100 times that many.
Right.
So, I mean, the act of killing them is not like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to kill some stuff. But at the same time, they have to die.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they won't. They'll just keep reproducing forever. And then eventually it'll get to the point where there's just, deer that walk the sidewalk with you on their way to school. So, yeah.
Well, so for me, it's kind of all of those things. It's sustainability.
Right.
Again, the adrenaline is the adrenaline pumping, the skill you have to have, the feeling like our ancestors.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, too, the population control. It's important to note that the population control, when we talked about it being set by insurance companies, that's a big part of it, obviously. But if we let deer just go uncontrolled,
Right.
then the difference goes from when Aaron and I go deer hunt with 308s and we drop the deer like that, there's no suffering, there's nothing like that. In, done, and we get the meat.
Right.
If you let them go over control, then the ecosystem's out of whack. And then you've got suffering deer, you've got sick deer, you've got all of these things. And then that probably parlays a lot into tainted meat for whenever you do hunt them, things like that. And it's a bad situation all around. So population control is really important. Being able to sustain yourself is really important. We've grown so comfortable just relying on running to the grocery store whenever you need some hamburger meat.
Well,
Right?
that's what I was about to say. I mean, people like to look at us humans as a third party. like we're not part of the ecosystem. We used to be right in there, the ecosystem. Things kill these kill those things, and then we kill them, and we keep it all under control. Now we want chicken, beef, pork. What else? Is that it? I mean, that's the majority.
Yeah, turkey and
Chicken, beef,
yeah, as far
pork,
as
turkey.
land animals,
that's it
yeah.
for the most part. Nobody kills deer. Like you don't walk to your Walmart and find deer just like all over the place like you do beef.
No.
And we used to kill deer all the time
Yeah.
back in the day. And now we want to look at ourselves as like this higher power, and animals are on a different level. We're animals.
exactly, yeah. It's a food chain.
And without us killing them, we're screwing the ecosystem. So it's on us,
Right.
not the deer.
As being the top of that food chain,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Could be some aliens
Shout
out there
out to the
somewhere.
megalodon swimming
Sure.
around in the Mariana
Or
Trench.
the what is it called? The squid, the massive
The
squid.
Kraken.
Yeah, the
Kraken.
Kraken.
Yeah. So speaking of, so those are all really good points about why we hunt, and it's funny that you guys bring up there that the megalodon was brought up and the squid, the kraken was brought up, because that kind of segues us into our next topic, which in the same vein as hunting, we're going to talk a little bit of fishing. And just different fishing trips that we've gone on. So the first thing I kind of want to do is what's the biggest fish you've caught? Like if you had to put a fish that you've caught as a trophy fish, which one is it?
I don't know. Like a bass. I don't go fishing, so I mean I'd like to. I don't have what I need to go fishing though. And it's expensive. It's like
Okay.
golf.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've never, done any deep sea fishing or anything like that, but I've put up some pretty good bass before, but I'd say probably like if I was to talk like my biggest trophy or biggest fish caught, it was a catfish. I mean, he was probably about 3.5 foot long.
Big
Goodness
catfish.
gracious.
Yeah, and
Did
I
you
mean,
noodle it?
I think I was 12 or 13 at the time, and my dad had to help me get him onto the shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna change my answer. That eel I caught in Florida.
It wasn't an eel.
Ribbon
Were you-
fish.
Ribbon fish. There you go.
Which I think is in the eel family.
It might be, man. That is a weird looking fish. If you
Yeah.
guys are listening,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
take a minute to hit pause and just go type in ribbon fish. They are mean looking.
Yeah, they are. And I caught one and I was like,
Mean.
what, 8? 9?
Probably. Yeah.
Like
We're on
meaner
the
Was that
pier.
down in St. Augustine?
Or it was in the Keys, one of the two.
I don't think it was the Keys. I think it
Either
was
way,
St. Augustine.
we were on a pier, big
Okay.
pier.
Yeah.
Everyone's fishing, like all the way. It had to have been 300 feet long. This
Yeah, yeah.
pier. And we're on it, not far down. We're fishing. Nobody caught anything except me.
Oh, of
Pretty
course.
sure, right? Nobody caught it, which is usually how it went.
Right.
So I catch something, and I was like, it doesn't feel like anything crazy. So I'm
Okay.
reeling it up, and this pier is pretty far off. So I mean, after it got out of the water, I'm still reeling for a while, and I get it up, and it's this like black, slender, like 2 foot long thing that
It's
just
so
came up,
weird.
and I was like,
Huh.
"What is that?" And before we even got it over the railing of the pier, 3 dudes come running down from the end of the pier, and they're like, "We'll take it, we'll take it, we'll take it, we'll take it." They have rags in their hands. They're like, "Don't touch it without a rag." So they touch it with a rag. They take it off the hook. Gone. Never saw it again.
They've got mean. Like, yeah, it's just,
It was gone.
it's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
It was snatched.
Wait, okay. So
Little
now
do
I'm
we know it
wondering
probably
what's
sold in-
special about ribbon fish.
It probably sold on the black market for like 10 grand, and we never knew about it.
Well, there's like, so what whenever you go fishing on a pier, there's all kinds of people down there that are fishing and just trying to keep everything. There's
All right.
a fish that you catch a lot on piers. I don't know if this is like the technical term for it. But I
Okay.
grew up around my dad, and we
This is about to get racy. isn't it?
no, it's called a hardtail.
A hardtail?
A hardtail.
All right.
And genius,
It has a hard tail.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh,
Who would have guessed?
what?
So these fish are nasty. There's nothing good about them. They're good bait fish.
That's
That's
it.
it.
So they're small.
Yeah, they're small, probably the size of your hand, maybe a little bigger. But I remember one time when we were fishing, and my dad was like, we were catching. I was like, Dad, are these good to eat? I was young, and he was like, not a chance. He gets done saying that. Here comes an old guy, like I would say running, but he was more
He
hobbling
was old.
down
Yeah.
the pier, and was like, I'll take it. Kind of similar to the ribbon thing. This dude has a cooler full of hardtails, and I was like, oh, are you going fishing later? Like are you
Yeah.
keeping all this for bait?
Dinner.
Dinner. And they were nasty, man. They're
So,
not good.
I bet they tasted good though.
I bet
he
they
s-
don't.
I bet he filleted them up, dropped in a fryer, put some, Old Bay seasoning on there,
Yeah, maybe.
and
Hey.
then just went to town on them.
You slap enough Crisco on that, you're good.
Yeah. Batter
So-
those boys up.
So my trophy would have to be Charleston, South Carolina, 6.5 foot sailfish.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Does it have a sail on it?
It sure did.
All
It
right.
was a blast. I think I was 15 whenever I caught it. 15 or 16. These things are beasts. So we get hooked up, and I reel it in, and I was reeling it in, and I was kind of disappointed because it never broke the water or anything like that. So the nice thing about fishing in the ocean is you really never know what you've got. You can if you fish enough, you can kind of tell by the way it fights. For instance, you usually know if it's a catfish, saltwater catfish, because the way they shake their heads. The interesting thing about that, though, is you can confuse the two. You can confuse catfish and shark, because sharks fight a lot like catfish do. They shake their heads a bunch. They do all that, trying to tear themselves away from the line.
Okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, where's the confusion here?
Yeah. So you
Not
can,
when you get them out of the water.
right. So I'm reeling it in, and there wasn't much of a fight, and I was like, well, this is going to be a disappointing endeavor until it gets up to the boat. And for those of you guys who haven't gone deep sea fishing, one of the things you hear your captain or your first mate yell a lot is whenever you get the fish close enough up where you can start seeing it, they'll yell color, color, color,
Okay.
because you can see color on the fish, so you can kind of tell what you've got. As immediately, whenever we saw color and the captain's hollering from the front of the boat, color, color, color.
Are you referring to Mike as a captain?
No, the captain of the boat.
Because he is not a captain. He is
So-
a pirate, if anything.
So we all you kind of take that opportunity. You're honed in when you're deep sea fishing. You got big rod and reel. You're putting everything you've got into this, because especially for sailfish, you're trolling. So your boat is constantly moving. So you've got the fish fighting you. The boat is moving. You're reeling it in. There's just a lot going on, and you kind of have to put blinders on and be focused on this fight. So the captain yells color, and we all kind of take a minute whenever he says that to look, because we know what we're out there after. And we
Yeah.
look over, and boom, we see a sailfish, and I immediately got excited and disappointed at the same time, because I was like, I'm in this for a fight. Like, I want it to be difficult, and I just reeled this thing in. As soon as I thought that, I see color, I see the tail of this thing, and all I'm doing is watching the reel unspool and just listen to the zzz as the line's going out. All I can do is watch. There is no stopping this thing. The drag was set appropriately for the fish,
Okay.
but you're just watching the line unspool until it gets tired
See,
enough
See,
that
that's how
you're
they get
locked
you.
back in.
That's how they get you. They think,
Huh.
this is going to be an easy one. And then out of nowhere, he puts it into fifth gear.
Yeah. So I finally get the fish in. It was cool. We took a picture with it, threw it back,
Okay.
and out there they do a really neat thing. I don't know if they do this everywhere, but if you catch a sailfish and you let it go, all these boats keep flags on their boat that has a sailfish on it. So if you catch a sailfish and you let it go, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on it, but you hang the flag upside down on the outrigger. So as you're coming in, people can see that, okay, and then you hear people radio in, hey, congrats on the sailfish, stuff like that. It's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
If you catch it and keep it, you put it right side up. Same deal happens, but it's just a neat thing.
Can you eat
Yeah,
those?
that's a
They do.
neat little
Yeah,
thing.
Are
absolutely.
they good?
Oh yeah.
Then why didn't you keep it?
I don't know why we didn't keep it.
Should have mounted it. I mean, on the wall. I mean,
Right.
not
I
in
understand.
the ocean.
I understand.
Yeah, no, that's why one of the reasons deep sea fishing is always like kind of a seemed like something I wanted to try because, like you said, you're just so honed in. You got like all these different elements going on, and everything. I've always kind of looked at it as like the extreme
Oh, yeah.
sport of fishing.
Yeah. Well, we'll actually get into that whenever I talk about what my biggest dream fishing trip is.
Okay.
It sounds insane. I mean, it's crazy. So, Aaron, if you had to pick one particular either fish to go after, fish to catch, or fishing trip somewhere, what would it be?
Alligator gar.
Alligator gar?
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
That's
how
a choice.
you know how
Yeah.
they used to catch those? So alligator
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. No.
no.
Oh, okay.
So alligator gars mouths are just like bone.
Mm-hmm.
They're so hard.
Oh yeah.
So
Back an alligator face.
back in the day, they would take a clothesline, and inside the rubber surround of the clothesline
Right.
is a bunch of wires,
Yeah.
and they're sharp. They would cut it, take the rubber off the outside, and tie that off, and put bait on it. And when the gar would hit it and start shaking their head, the wires would come apart and stick in their mouths, and that's how you would catch alligator gar.
Sounds very violent.
It is violent.
I feel like fishing gets a pass on things that hunting does not.
It does.
Because you can just go out there and just destroy whatever fishes you catch's mouth or throat or stomach, because sometimes they swallow them all the way down. And then you just yank it out. If you can't get the hook out, cut the line, throw them back.
Yeah,
Just leave the hook in
or
there.
I don't
You
know
know-
how many times I've hooked them in like the eye or the gill
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
You know
And
why?
You're just destroying these fish. And you
Logically,
throw them back.
So logically speaking, it kind of makes sense because deer are furry and cute and cuddly, and rabbits and squirrels and all
And
this
fish
stuff.
are gross looking.
And fish look like monsters,
Yeah.
especially ones like alligator gar.
But like people don't ever have a problem with fishing.
That's
Like-
not true.
Well, okay, but it's less common than
It's
you hear.
much less common.
You hear the hunting is terrible and you should never do it. Let me enjoy this burger while I say this. But then fishing, go ahead. It's a fun pastime.
Yeah.
But the act of fishing is literally like ripping the inside of the fish's mouth open with a hook and yanking it against its own will into your boat.
So I actually have an interesting point about that whenever I discuss like my dream fish
Okay.
about the kind of hooks that you have to use now. There's rules and regulations and good reasons for them. So Max, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know. I kind of have two in mind. I know it's just one, but just like it's hard for me to choose between these two. Is like one, deep sea fishing, because like I said, it seems like an extreme sport. Also, I'd love to just reel in some big fish.
What are
Right.
you going for,
that
man?
just going for?
What are you going to
specifically?
go for? Your goal.
You know what? I was gonna say I'd love to get just reel in a swordfish or something.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why. That just seems.
What about
really
a
cool.
megalodon?
You're not reeling that in.
What if you have one of the? Don't they have electronic?
I
not
don't-
for that.
I don't think I could reel that in. Like I would need like a battleship or something just for it to not pull the boat under.
Just
Right.
do it
Or
on a
me
chain.
under.
Just hook a hook
Oh,
to a chain.
that's
Yeah,
not enough.
I'm just fishing off the anchor of this like
And then just pull.
aircraft
Just drive
carrier.
the boat to shore.
Do we think the megalodon's real?
I think at one point, sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it still is.
I mean,
yeah,
the thing is,
I wouldn't be surprised if it still is.
look at they still find things in the ocean that they didn't think existed,
And will forever.
and will forever. It's huge, and it goes down way
Really
further
deep.
than I think.
Yeah,
they
I mean
think it
that's the
does.
thing. Like maybe not exactly like a kraken, but like the Colossus octopus.
Mhm.
They found whales that have like tentacle marks and beak marks on it that are way too big to be even like the biggest
Yeah, right.
octopus.
You
we
could
found.
build 100,000 square foot mansion in the deepest part of the ocean, and it probably wouldn't get found for 200 years,
Probably not.
if not more, because it's huge, as you could say.
Right.
But then like on the other spectrum, a little more relaxing. I've always kind of wanted to go like fly fishing for like trout or something.
That would be
just
so
like
much fun.
standing in the stream. Just it seems so relaxing, but also so rewarding.
Yeah, I've never done any kind of fly fishing.
It looks difficult.
It is, and so I've looked into
Yeah,
it.
it kind of is.
It's constant work.
Mhm.
It's not like fishing for anything else. You're constantly in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, throwing.
Yeah.
Because those flies are the lures you use are tiny and weigh next to nothing. Like
Oh, yeah.
you're whipping it with the weight of the line that you're using.
Oh, I took one to the head one time.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say my So my dad's dad used to have a cabin out on the lake, out there in Linville, and he had a fly rod, and I had seen it on TV, and he was like, "All right, you know what? I know a little island you can stand on out on the lake, and I'll teach you how to do it." And I kind of started to get the hang of it, and then I smacked myself in the face
Yeah.
with it.
I want to go bow fishing too.
Yeah. Kind of
That'd
mix
be
the
cool.
hunting and fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hunt the Asian carp that are taking over the ecosystems.
What?
That's what they're called.
yeah. You didn't
That's
know
what
about
hunt.
that? The ones that, like, whenever you see those videos of people like motoring their boat through like a little channel, and,
Different.
and you see
Japanese flying carp.
Those are
Oh, you're
yeah,
talking
those
about
are-
the Japanese
yeah,
flying
that's
carp.
different.
Oh, or
They
I'm
kill
talking
people.
about that. Yeah.
They kill people.
yeah, because
Oh,
they're coming out with some heat.
Yeah, and if you're motoring and you're moving, and you
Yeah,
get,
my dad lost a couple pairs of reading glasses one time.
yeah, it's bad. So I kind of alluded to this. My dream fishing trip:
Okay.
Goliath grouper.
Oh.
Which are like what, 800 pounds?
Yeah, they're like, it's like pulling up a Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh yeah, they're huge.
In the Everglades,
What?
hand line fishing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the
I'm so confused.
it's the
right now.
ultimate man versus beast battle. So whenever they set their rigs and stuff up, they test the knots and the hook strength. One place that I saw the way they did it was they have a Chevy Silverado 2500 Duramax. They put the hook around the trailer hitch
Uh,
or the
okay.
ball,
Yeah.
and then they've got their rope, they've got everything strung up, and then they just put the truck in neutral and pull the truck to make sure it all holds.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So what you do is you get a big circle hook, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Most places in the United States, as far as I know, whenever you deep sea fish, you have to use a circle hook. The reason is A, it's really hard for the fish to swallow it because of the way it's shaped. B, it is set up to be able to easily come out of their mouths once they're hooked.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Now the interesting thing about using a circle hook is we're all used to, quote, setting the hook when you go fishing.
Yeah.
Right.
You reel the line tight, you jerk the rod and reel back, set the hook. You don't want to do that with a circle hook because you'll pull it right out of their mouths. It won't hook them because it really is. If you Google circle hook, you can see it really is almost an entire circle. So
okay,
the idea
I
is,
think I know what you're talking about.
the idea is you just start reeling, and as it's got to be something. Look, I'm no engineer, so I don't know the thought process behind it, but it works. So you reel, it hooks, and then the super important thing about using circle hooks is you cannot let slack in the line ever, because if you do, they'll just spit it out.
Huh.
And whenever you pull it, it doesn't matter. You could be using a circle hook the size of your hand on a fish the size of a boat, and you just grab the hook and with almost no effort, just pop the hook right out of its mouth. It's awesome. And
Wow.
It's
they're
like
set
a
up.
friction thing.
Yeah, it's set up so it doesn't harm the fish as much as other hooks do.
Okay.
And they're
that's
great.
really neat.
They're great. I use them for everything. I use them for deep sea fishing. I use them for catfishing. I'll use small versions of circle hooks for like.
Okay, I
bass
definitely
or for
know what you're
bluegill.
talking about.
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
So anyway, the hand fish or the hand line fishing, it's a big rope, it's a big hook, it's a big old chunk of bait, and then you've got a 450, 500, 600 pound Goliath grouper on the other end of that, and they take the bait, you pull it tight, and you're locked in.
Wow.
The ultimate man versus beast. I want to do it so bad, and
How
everybody.
much does something like that cost?
I have no idea.
Thousands of dollars, right?
I mean, probably what a normal deep sea fishing trip costs.
Which is,
It depends on who you go with, how
$1,000.
long you're out, probably.
I mean, it's probably cheaper if you go with more people.
Yeah,
Because
split
you
it
rent
up.
the boat, right?
You rent the boat, the
and the
captain, and the
captain.
first mate.
What is a first mate? His
First mate-
assistant?
Yeah, pretty much. The first mate, whenever you go deep sea fishing, typically does the like rod and reel setup, hooking.
Oh, you don't have to do anything.
You don't do
You
anything.
just stand there and you hook it and you pull.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, unless you're experienced and stuff like that, and then like so, when my dad and I have gone a lot, most of the time the first mate just gets to fish with us
Oh.
because we've done it enough that we're just like,
And-
enjoy your time. We're all
Yeah.
gonna fish. We'll grab the fish. We'll take it off. We'll rebait the hook. We know what we're doing, so it's just kind of like we're probably, I wouldn't say like a dream customer for
Yeah.
deep sea fishing guys, but they get to fish too when we get to go there. It's not constant like people are like, I'm not going to touch it. I just want to set the hook and reel it in, like stuff like that. We just say, hey, do your thing. We got this.
Not only have you done it enough, you've also messed it up enough.
That's the most important part.
Like when Mike, his father, capsized a boat in the ocean.
With your dad on board, right?
Yeah, were you there?
Wait, no, wasn't that your dad who did that?
No, he capsized the boat because they took a lake boat into the ocean. Total Mike move.
So I have
Were you there for that?
No, not that one.
I wish you were there because I wanted you to tell the story, but I guess you weren't there.
Well, no. So here's the story I do have about that.
All right.
Panama City, Florida, out in the ocean on a bass tracker.
Yeah.
I hook up on a big stingray. I bet the wingspan of this thing was probably 3.5, 4 feet. And stingrays typically just sit down at the bottom, and it's kind of like a battle of wills.
You think they can suction themselves to the floor?
Probably. But so I get hooked up, and now I don't know how many of you guys know what we're talking about when we say a bass tracker. Bass boat, you've got the elevated platform front and back, and then you've got the platform in the middle that's sunk down into the boat, and that's where you sit.
And the boat is meant to be like inches above the water.
Inches
the
above
edge
the water.
of the boat is inches above the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great when there's, I don't know, waves,
So
current.
So funny you say that. I get hooked up on this stingray, and we're battling back and forth. It's wanting to sit. I'm trying to pull it up, and finally, I don't know if something else swam by and spooked it, which is crazy when that kind of stuff happens. Terrifying things happen when that stuff happens.
Oh, good.
But this stingray took off. So now I'm standing on the front elevated platform, inches from the water, in a bass boat, chasing a stingray flying down the beach on the boat. We're
Oh, my
probably
gosh.
150 yards from the beach, 200 yards from the beach,
Just bouncing.
bouncing. And I'm standing, fighting a fish, and we are moving.
Oh, this sounds safe.
And
It was awesome.
the,
It was so much fun.
I guess you'd call it the captain of this boat, has no regard for the safety of anyone in or around the boat when he's driving.
Which I appreciate in this scenario because we got the fish.
You may have got it, but
Hey,
he will buzz anywhere. He'll start doing figure eights in the middle. Not a warning.
It's
He'll
awesome.
take a 90-degree turn at full speed.
So here's the thing. It should be noted that he knows what he's doing.
He does. He's
He-
also a maniac.
He is maniac, which I appreciate
yeah.
because it's fun.
He's willing to go the extra mile.
And that's how you get the fish in a lot of situations. So I just want to do that. Goliath grouper, hand line fishing, all of those things. So we'll jump into from fishing. We said this at the top. We're going to talk a little bit of camping.
Before we get into that,
Okay,
I want to tell the anchor story.
which one?
The one
The
in the
anchor?
ocean.
You said
The
I thought you
anch-
said anger.
No, the anchor story.
Okay,
We're
yeah, this is a great story.
in Florida on my father's boat. Mike
Okay.
is there, and he takes the idea that, we're where we need to be. Let's put the anchor down.
That sounds about how you use an anchor.
Yeah, right? You take it out and you throw it, and then it anchors as
Right.
it's supposed to. So he grabs the anchor, no other thoughts, just grabs it,
Okay.
and all I see is him go, "Thump," and then you hear "Thump," as it goes into the water, and it
Typical.
starts sinking. And we all kind of just look around, and then we look at him, and then we look back to where the anchor was thrown in, and then look at him, and then he looks at us and he goes, "What?" And then we look back at where the anchor goes, and then he
Okay.
looks and he goes, "That wasn't tied on, was it?" It was not. It was not tied on. He just threw the whole anchor with nothing tied to it right in the water, and it just sunk into oblivion, never to be
Oh,
seen
my
again.
Gosh.
I don't know what an anchor costs.
I don't know. Well,
But
I'd imagine since you're
$400?
talking deep sea.
I mean, we weren't deep sea; we were just out in the ocean, which I guess you could consider deep sea.
Okay, so you're talking like
It wasn't.
ocean
We weren't
leveling.
fishing. It was just a leisurely boat day.
Okay. I mean,
Just tossed it, gone.
I don't know. I can't.
I don't know what an
I've
anchor
only
costs.
ever been around in like bass boats and stuff.
I would say an anchor that's meant for a boat that's going in the ocean has got to be at least $400 or $500. Is that safe to
Not
say?
necessarily.
I mean, a thick boy.
Thick ones, yeah, the big ones are expensive.
Yeah, I
I mean, that anchor's gone forever, never to be seen again. Somebody may have got it. Now they have a free anchor,
They do have a free anchor.
Yeah, free anchor.
but my father has one less anchor.
I don't know. Maybe there's some sea creature down there getting swole on it.
Oh yeah,
Might
doing
be.
some curls.
Doing some curls, doing some presses, you know.
All right.
All right, so let's talk camping.
All right.
Let's talk about it. What kind of equipment do you like to use?
I mean, what are we talking here? Because I've got everything.
Camping equipment.
I have everything. My rucksack literally weighs like 95 pounds.
Max,
And
what kind
most
of equipment do
people-
you like to use whenever you go camping?
Oh, well, I love the backpack I have right now. But honestly, I do kind of wish I had more of a setup like you, kind of the rucksack setup you guys have.
I mean,
As
my
far
ruck's
as-
a little excessive.
I mean, yeah, yours is just a little excessive.
I'll be the
Like,
first to say it. It's excessive.
You were kind of, the last time we went out, it was like watching Mary Poppins, just like, what else does he have in there?
Just pulling stuff out.
Yeah.
Because not only is it a massive backpack, but I also have it organized to fit the maximum amount of items in said backpack.
I
I
appreciate
think it's like
that.
120 liters,
Yeah.
maybe more.
No, I was gonna say in my in my bag, I've got, just for the basics, like I've got my sleeping bag, camping pillow, hammock. I've got probably about 200 foot of paracord,
Okay.
tarp for sheltering.
All right. You got a cutting utensil.
Well, yeah, I usually have one or two cutting utensils on me.
Okay.
Then I've got a little camping shovel that I like to
Okay, a little folder.
carry around. Yeah, a little folder.
All right.
If
Does it
it's-
have the little
if it's nice.
serrations on the side?
It does have the serrations on the
Chopping
side.
down some trees.
Yeah, I could if I needed to.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it- I guess
well-
it wouldn't be chopping. It'd be
Well, yeah,
sawing.
because remember we used it to mess up the beaver dam.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think that was the time I got really wet, and I didn't want to.
Yes, that is. That water was rather cold that day.
Oh, it was very cold. It was March.
Aside from that, of course, some extra socks. Extra
You
clothes.
always need extra socks.
Yeah,
Thick ones, like the boot socks.
at least one extra set of clothing, just in case you falling into the stream situation happens.
Yeah.
I've got lighter, a little fire starter, spark
Mhm.
stick,
A little ferro rod.
yeah. I haven't actually put it to use while camping.
I mean,
but
I've tried
do-
mine out.
I do have the rod or my slingshot.
I mean, we had fun with the slingshot.
Yeah, we did have some fun.
We didn't
It-
shoot anything of importance, but
No,
It was
It
enjoyable.
was fun just to play around with.
I still don't believe it would kill anything. Like, I know I'm probably wrong. But based on what it's shooting, the little balls, what are they, porcelain or something?
Glass, aren't
They are glass. Yeah, but for being glass, I don't know what kind of glass
They
this
don't
is.
break.
I have not been able to break one of those. And I fired that thing. The last
Probably
time
like
I fired
marble.
it,
It's like a marble.
I shot
You
it at a
think that they're
possum.
using marble for that?
No, I'm saying it's like a marble.
Oh.
It's probably just solid.
I would assume. I mean, they're manufactured, so it's not going to be 100% natural materials.
No, and it's in a circle and it's solid,
Yeah.
so it's going to be harder to break that.
I mean, one of the last times I shot one of those off, I shot it at a possum on my, I've got that concrete patio out back. Possum had traveled onto there, and I needed to go out that fence there.
and have it
And
vacate the
so
premises.
I opened the door, pulled that bad boy back as far as I could, let it rip.
Did you
It
hit the possum?
Smacked off that concrete, smacked off my fence, hit my house, and then I saw it land in the grass. Didn't do a thing to the actual glass bead.
And nothing to the possum.
It scared the possum. It went right under his chin, and he darted off.
So a
into the-
warning shot.
Yeah.
So okay, so what are your guys' ideal, like, I don't want to say camping conditions, hammock, tent, things like that.
Hammock.
Hammock,
It's easier to put up.
it is easier to put up,
And you're elevated.
right?
Yeah, I do like the elevation and the setup and tear down. It's just
And you can put it
sitting
anywhere.
So for the listeners, I kind of did a thing.
He did do a thing.
I went
there.
out.
Oh,
I went out and I bought, I don't know, $60 worth of PVC pipe.
And I think you're teetering the line of camping, not camping. The argument that people make.
Between
Of-
camping and glamping?
Yeah, whether you're camping or glamping. I think you're teetering that line.
I am.
And I think you're over it.
I don't think I'm over it.
I think the hammock is definitely camping.
Hammock is definitely
When
camping.
Yeah.
you're backing up an F-250 to the quote-unquote campsite and you have a shelter built on the back of your F-250, I don't know if you're really camping
I
anymore.
think you're still camping.
I don't know.
Okay.
So everyone has a different
Okay.
description.
well, all right. Question then. Let's say that this structure was not built into the bed of his F-250. Say he bought all this PVC pipe and some extra PVC pipe and built himself a little
tent.
hut.
It's just a tent. It's just elevated higher.
Mounted to a
It's-
vehicle. It's okay. So, do you consider a little pop-up camping?
Like a pop-up trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, some people don't,
That's fine.
and I think your situation is the same with less steps.
Okay, but I don't think he doesn't have
More
access.
steps.
Well, less money,
A lot less.
a lot less money.
Yeah, but can't in like a pop-up camper, can't you still, be plugging in like some type of air unit or
Yes,
like
Yeah,
they're
it's got
heated
power.
and cooled by propane
Okay.
and stuff.
You think he couldn't open the sliding glass window on the back of his truck and plug into the outlets in there?
First of all, I take like charging.
Yeah, we take portable
Bricks.
chargers.
Yeah, same. But I'm saying too, like he can't. It's not like he's got a window AC unit in
mean,
there.
he
He's
could.
No,
still
but I wish I did.
like.
Not the last time we went.
No, it was
When we
perfect.
all went.
I'm trying to be on your side here, Steve. You're making it hard.
Listen, I would go tomorrow and buy a Sprinter van converted.
Oh, like a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Yes.
I get it.
Now that you're getting further away from camping, but you're getting more efficiency. Everything's already set up.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I just like when I go camping. I like I'm in the middle of nowhere,
so let me ask you
and
this.
no one can come and find me.
Which
if
I also
wanted to.
promised I would stop saying, but I have to say it for this.
What did you say?
Let me ask you this.
Oh yeah,
Big. That's a big phrase for me. So you say that you want to feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere.
I want to feel like I don't know. I have the itch of like
So-
we're back in the olden days.
Sure, I'm not arguing that, but we've gone and we've camped in a tent. It's no different than camping in a tent that you have to go set up. And
I'm not saying
put
that
your
it's
stuff
that
in.
different.
It's just
I'm just
more comfortable.
I'm just saying that when I go
Okay.
camping, I want to be able to just walk. I want to walk. I want to have all my items on me, and I want to going as if world didn't exist. We're just living.
Which I still can do with my hammock and all of those things. But when we go camping in the place that we go camping, which is also the place we're going to hunt,
It's convenient for the truck. I'm not saying it's not.
it's wildly convenient.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it's teetering the line.
It can teeter it. That's fine.
Okay, but
I'm not going to do it whenever we go deer hunting.
No.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
terrible
it'd
idea.
be so cold.
So cold.
But like, say we got like a bus or something, or like
Okay.
set up like some bunks in
Like
there.
a survival van.
Yeah, I'm not
down with
saying
that.
I wouldn't be down for us to like
Yeah, it'd be
invest
awesome.
in like park bus or something and then turn it into like
Speaking
bunks.
of,
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that.
Max
But
saw a
that's
party
a
bus,
little off topic.
and he wants to have us all go 3-way in on that. And
Is it
The one just down the road.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's for
Yeah.
sale. It's
I know.
blacked out,
It,
It's
and
been
it's
for
been
sale
for sale
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a long time.
which means they're
Negotiation.
willing to negotiate.
And
They're
then turn it into our camper van?
no, turn it into the mobile
Well,
command center.
It could be both.
It could be both.
It will
could
be both.
our mobile camper, and it could be command center.
It's already blacked out.
Yeah.
Put some camo on there.
Okay, so, Aaron, you said something about this earlier
What?
with your hoity-toity, highfalutin, I'm better than everybody else by the way I camp, making
Okay.
fun of me.
I'm not making funny. I'm just saying it's not the same,
It's
and it's not as
It's
fun.
the same as camping in a tent.
It's
the
not as
difference
fun.
is the tent is just higher.
It's not as fun.
Okay,
cheaper.
I feel
Because I'm in my hammock, and when we want to talk while we're at night, because it gets to like 8 o'clock, it gets dark, we get in our living situations, and then we talk and we hang out and we send memes to each other. But you're so high up, and I'm in my hammock, and I have to like look at the bed of your truck and like yell over it.
All I have to do, I understand that you want to make a point. Now I'm fired up. All I have to do
had to do it.
is put the tailgate down,
I
and then we just
still
chit-chat.
can't see you.
Put your hammock higher.
Then I have to get a ladder.
What?
And,
Take a
and
truck.
in the area where I'm hammocking.
With how tall you are, you have to get a ladder.
Listen, with the area where I'm hammocking is in
Okay.
a ditch. The trees run through the ditch. He can't park in the ditch. He parks on an elevated ground already. Then his massive truck is, I don't know, the bed's what, 3 feet off the ground? 2.5?
Oh, it's more than that.
Yeah, it's more
3
than
feet?
that.
It's more than 3 feet.
Off the ground.
Yeah, because it's about to my waist, and my legs are about 3.5 feet.
Okay, so 3.5 feet off the ground. Plus, I'm in a 1.5 2 foot down ditch. So I'm 2 feet off the ground.
Okay.
He's if you counted from where I'm at, 7 feet off the ground, and I can't see him.
Sounds like a you problem.
And I'm set up in like 8 minutes. And then when I'm done, I have to go help him set his up because
Not last time.
yeah, because I had to help you tuck it behind the bed and all that stuff while you were pulling it from the front so it wouldn't get yanked off of your structure.
Still pretty cool.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not cool.
Listen,
I wish you would have picked a different color tarp.
I'll post a picture.
Okay.
I'll post a picture on our Instagram page, and we'll let you
After
guys
we help you set it up.
decide.
After
No,
we-
Max went from trying to be on my side to go screw yourself, Steve, in the blink of an eye.
God, it was funny though.
In the blink of an eye.
I am an agent
And my
of
hammock,
chaos.
my hammock would be set up in the blink of an eye, unlike your stupid bed tent. That's actually a pretty cool name. I like
It's
that.
not stupid.
It's still not stupid.
I like bed tent though.
I
It's a
know
sweet
I
bed
just
tip.
did that, but
I'm not saying it's
still,
stupid.
trying to help engineer that, and then actually the finished product. It was a great day.
Yeah.
I think we should make some modifications. 2 stories.
Okay, so
Go big or go home. Or you could build it over the top of the actual truck. So you could have an upper living area and then a lower living area.
you could. So what's so funny, the first time that I used this
Yeah.
when we went camping, I parked way too far away from Aaron.
Yeah, we were like
Sweet.
half a football field away from
Yeah,
each
we
other.
couldn't really communicate. So it was in the middle of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I was kind of like tucked away at the end of the night, like watching Montreal. and
Surprisingly
Tampa.
good reception up there.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
So at this particular time, in our neck of the woods, which is southern Indiana, there was a bear sighting like all the time. Was it a black bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was the same bear, I'm convinced.
It was, yeah, same bear. So southern Indiana, black bear roaming, you're catching it on like trail cams, you're catching it on like people's security cameras on their TV or on their houses.
Okay,
things
I
like that.
remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the news.
So Aaron and I go camping, and we go with the intention of, we're going to hunt some coyotes, we're going to hunt beaver, we're going to do all this stuff. So we get all of our stuff, and we hear a bunch of coyotes, so I jump out of my truck, Aaron jumps out of his hammock. We're loaded up. Nothing ended up coming of it. So then we go back to our respective camping setups, regardless of your opinion of them. And I'm kicked back watching the game. And Aaron, go ahead from here because only you can tell this story and do it justice. So
I'm in my hammock. I would say a reasonable 40 yards away from your truck.
yeah, I would agree.
He's in a field. I'm in the edge of the trees because I'm in a hammock, and you can't really set up a hammock in a field. It doesn't work.
Right.
I mean, you could.
You could.
Dumb though.
Bring
Right.
your own poles.
Right.
That's a wild move. Okay, so I'm in the tree line. I'm watching YouTube. I can faintly hear people cheering for the Stanley Cup from his truck. Very faintly. And then I can hear him, grunting and whatever else he does while he watches hockey.
Because I'm losing money.
Yeah.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
losing money. And placing live bets, I bet.
Probably.
I'll neither confirm
Either
nor
way.
deny.
So
Continue
I'm
the
watching
story.
YouTube, and I hear faintly to the east, I hear, oh. I was like, what? So when you hear something and you're watching something, you're like, you have to pause. So I pause. I sit there in the silence. It's pitch black.
Yeah.
No moon, because the moon doesn't
The
exist.
moon doesn't exist out there.
No, sure
So
doesn't.
I'm laying in my hammock, and comfortable temperature, mind you. Great temperature, like 60. Oh, okay.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. So I'm laying in my hammock, just waiting to hear it again. So it's like you couldn't distinguish what it sounded like really at first
Yeah.
over the phone. So I put my phone down. I'm sitting there. Maybe a minute goes by, and I just hear probably 300 yards away, because sound travels out there way further than anywhere else.
Okay.
And I just hear another, and I was like, so I yell, "Did you hear that?" And no response. So then I text him and I said, "You heard that, right?" And then before he messages me back, I hear it again and I go, "Please tell me that you heard that." And he goes, "Yeah, what was that?" And I go, "It was a bear." And he goes, "No, it wasn't." I was like, "Yes, it was."
Yeah, I wasn't convinced. I wasn't convinced until, and I'll take over from here because I wasn't convinced that it was a bear until the next day,
Okay.
which is a terrifying time to become convinced.
I told you
that
it was a bear and you didn't believe me.
I did not believe him.
Yeah,
So,
considering you slept out there all night.
Yeah,
next day's a
I
terrible
was
time to find out.
100% convinced it was a bear. I was like, nothing else out here makes a sound like that. And we had talked about the bear on the way up there.
yeah, so here's
Because
what,
it was, 30 miles away the day before, which is a reasonable amount of travel for a bear in two days.
that's what I was going to say, is I wasn't convinced until the next day. We pack all of our stuff up, we eat breakfast, yada, yada, jump in the truck, and we're heading down the road. I said, Aaron brings it up. Shout out to him because he's so convinced. He was like, this was a bear.
I was not taking no for an
And I'm
answer.
still arguing against it. Because
He doesn't like to believe me. Let's start
no,
there.
it's not that. It's that they're not around here. We know there was a sighting, but then it's like,
Yeah.
it's like that law of averages, right? Like you go, okay, was it really? So then I was like, okay, where was it sighted so many days ago?
Okay.
The last reported sighting, where was it? And how long ago was that? And he looked it up and he saw it. I was like, okay, that seems like a long way. He goes, well, let's find out. So he Googles how far can a black bear travel in a day? Dead on.
Yeah.
Dead on?
Dead on.
Dead on.
So then I was like, okay, now I'm starting to consider this as a possibility. And so we're not even to the main road yet. We're still on back roads in the middle of nowhere. And I said, Aaron, I'm going to need you to do something for me. Go on your phone, go to YouTube and type in, what does a black bear sound like? And he played it. And we almost stopped the truck.
Dead on.
Because, I think it's because, so that night, not convinced at all. I slept great.
Yeah.
I mean, I also didn't. I was 100% convinced.
But the
I was
next
tired,
day
though.
to realize that, holy cow, were you wrong? And that was a bear.
Yeah.
That'll
We
stress you
can't
out.
say for sure.
We can't say
but
for sure, but the
I would
evidence
be willing,
was there.
I'd be willing to bet my bottom dollar on it.
Well, and the other thing is what sparked the interest in all of this stuff was there were coyotes just squealing out there, and then all of a sudden silence, nothing, and then
Yeah, not enjoyable.
That's terrifying.
yeah,
I had multiple firearms in my hammock.
yeah, and I had multiple firearms in my bed tent.
Are you coining that?
No, I'm not going to coin it.
Is
You
this
should
a
coin it.
Whoa What exclusive?
No, I think it's an
Okay.
Aaron from Woah. What?
I'm just saying, though, not surprised you slept well because you didn't believe it.
Right.
So you're good. 100% not surprised you slept well either, though, Aaron, because we have been like middle of the night. Like Steve has what we believe was a coyote sniffing his butt.
Sniffing my butt
And
in
he's
a
going,
hammock. Guess where that
"Somebody-
doesn't happen?
Somebody get over here. Somebody. And You just nothing. You didn't wake up till like 3 hours later in the middle of the night. And
I was like, what's happening?
then what? The other time
We were in the tent.
we were in the
A
tent
large tent.
and something was definitely messing around the tent.
Again, where my head was. I don't know what it is about me.
You have an odor.
Is it an odor?
I don't know, maybe.
They,
I don't know
they
what it
saw
is.
you earlier that day and they're like, ooh, that's a juicy boy.
That'll be good eating.
But yeah, we get up and you're gung-ho because we had just gotten done beaver hunting, yet we hadn't found anything. And then we're like, Aaron, wake up. Like, there's something out here. And you're just like, whatever. Wake me if something real happens. And then, like, you go back to sleep. And even trying
And
to
then
wake you up.
something real happens.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything, though. You can't shoot what you can't see.
Didn't need to see it. I didn't want you to shoot it. I just wanted it to get away from me because I could feel it. Listen, for those of you guys listening, imagine you're laying in a hammock, minding your own business, I might add,
Yeah.
and you just hear, and I don't know if this is going to translate. I won't even try it because I don't know if it's going to translate on the mics, but you hear the sound. Everybody knows what a dog sniffing sounds like.
Yeah.
And you hear that, and everybody knows what it feels like to have a dog's nose bump you.
Yeah.
And you feel that on your backside, where I might add, ham hocks. Okay? So I probably looked like a decent dinner,
Probably.
and it's just bumping me. And I'm trying to get Aaron's attention because he's the one who's gung ho. Nothing. He's dead to the world, so I have to get Max.
When I fall asleep, I'm out.
Well,
If you
Why
could-
I'm not surprised.
You could have probably shot that coyote next to your hammock, and
No
I
chance.
still wouldn't have woken up.
no chance.
No, yeah. And I'm jumping out of my hammock, like, just in my socks. And the ground was 100% wet and cold.
Well, the thing is, it was also freezing cold.
It was so cold.
At
It wasn't
night-
supposed to be that
No,
cold.
it was
It
supposed to
wasn't
be,
that
like,
bad when we went to
45.
sleep.
No.
When we first went to sleep, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
But when I woke up, I thought I was going to look down and have like frostbitten, like Mr. Deed's foot.
Yeah,
Right.
I woke up 3 times that night, and each night I added more items. So I went to bed in a shirt,
I was
long
ready to cuddle
sleeve.
with someone.
I had a thermal on and pants, long socks. I was ready. In bed. Wake up at 1. Freezing. I get out of my hammock as much as I didn't want to. Get a hoodie on. Put an extra pair of socks on. Get back into my sleeping bag. Go back to sleep. 30 minutes later, I wake up and I feel like I'm going to die. So I get out of my hammock. I pull a blanket out of my bag. Wrap my sleeping bag in the blanket and slide back into the sleeping bag. Go back to sleep. 30 minutes later, I wake up again, even colder than I was before. I went through my whole bag in the middle of the night, pulled out an emergency blanket, opened it up, and wrapped myself in it, and still was freezing cold. I think it would have been better if I would have put the emergency blanket in my sleeping bag, but I was so
Probably.
cold, and I just wanted to get back into the sleeping bag that I was like, screw it, it'll be around me, good enough.
Huh, okay, I get
I
it.
was freezing. And then waking up in the morning, once we got up and we were moving, it wasn't that bad.
No.
But getting out of the sleeping bag that morning,
Oh, that was the worst.
God, it was like torture.
The first like 15 minutes after you got out of your
God, it was
hammock
rough.
was just
And then an hour
Awful.
after we got up, it was like 70.
Right.
Like we should
yeah,
just
like
laid
what?
in
By
bed
the
for
time
another
we
hour.
were in the car, like, and we stopped.
It was
down
hot.
The
I was
road.
sweating.
Yeah,
So we've covered camping just now.
right.
We've talked hunting. We've talked fishing. We're going to throw it back to the first episode, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Winona. And I know I kind of just silently corrected myself. We got an email
Yeah, we did.
explaining to me that it's not Winona, it's Winona. And why is that?
Because they're winners, not whiners.
That's right. So
yeah.
Winona, Minnesota, that's on me. I'm pretty sure I said Winona more than anybody probably ever has.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
So before we jump into this, and before I throw it over to Max to tell us all about outdoor activities at Winona, Minnesota, in Winona, Minnesota, I do want to do another really quick thank you to visitwinona.com and at visitwinona on Instagram. We talked about rock and ice climbing last week, and we want to tell you guys about Sugarloaf Bluff, a city landmark that rises 500 feet above the Mississippi River Valley to provide an unmatched view for any willing to mount the summit. Head over to visitwinona.com to learn more. So Max, tell us everything we need to know about outdoor activities in Winona, Minnesota.
Okay, well, first off, we'll just start off, give you something while I was researching this, because, when I was going through, found so much just about the different scenery, how many parks they had, lakes, and it just seemed like there was a crazy amount of these beautiful areas around there, and I actually found out that there's a solid reason why that is. This this little area there is actually known as part of what is called the driftless region.
Okay.
It's kind of how I sleep.
Driftlessly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? So I did a little research on that, and apparently, the small little stretch of the Mississippi River down there, this landscape was made possible.
The Mississippi River goes all the way over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have never known that.
Well, here you go. Strap
Thank
in.
you. Thank
Strap in. We have a couple more call outs to the Mississippi. This was actually made possible 10,000 or so years ago.
Okay.
Back when glaciers were moving across North America, shaped the country we have today. A glacier split itself in half, went around this region, and then reformed in Iowa, leaving this area just completely untouched.
Because it didn't have the strength to take down Winona.
That's honestly how I feel about it. I mean, scientists are still debating what happened and why this occurred, but
Why?
that's the only thing I could think of.
That's
Why
insane.
even debate?
We know the reason.
Yeah.
Call up the scientists. Winona took down that glacier.
Yeah.
Took it down, scared it away, said,
Scared it.
move on to Iowa. We're not taking that here.
David
Right.
and Goliath. The Goliath was the glacier, and it got taken down with a slingshot.
100%. So yeah, a few things we have here. Of course, like I mentioned, we have the Mississippi River and a bunch of beautiful lakes. So there's a lot of fishing around there.
Awesome.
You can actually fish. There's a fair amount of fishing around the river in their dam areas there. You can do it both by boat, and there's also a public fishing pier that was actually added to the dam by the Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
It's just a nice little pier that you can go out, do your fishing right off that pier.
And I want to throw this in there.
Yeah.
Back from last episode, they
Okay.
do have jet ski rentals.
They do. That
We
was
found
They
confirmed.
that.
They do.
That was confirmed.
Yes.
Of course they do.
I mean,
Well, why wouldn't you without
if they didn't, they would have after last episode because we definitely called out jet ski rentals.
Oh yeah.
with all these aquatic events,
I mean, you got to have them.
There's also commercial fishing floats. Let me get to it here. Around Dam 4 and 5A, for a small little fee, you can fish right over the deepest water parts of the dam. They also offer refreshments, bait and tackle if you didn't have to happen to bring anything with you. Just a couple little lakes around there. You got Mud Lake with a lot of shore fishing, and
Well, there's a lot of mud, so
Sam Gordy Slough and Swift Creek offer both boat and ice fishing.
Heck yes.
Yeah,
I want
I wanna go ice
I don't
fishing.
know why I didn't assume that I would find ice fishing here, considering I casually threw ice climbing at you
Right.
guys.
yeah. I mean,
I don't know why I didn't think those
like
would
it
both
wasn't a big deal.
be there. Yeah, well, it wasn't.
It is. You're
It is.
doing Mount Everest activities in the United States. It's a big deal.
Big deal for us, not for Winona.
Right.
I mean, I guess not, but
Also, they've got a few lakes in town. I know I mentioned Levy Park last time. They also have some nice shore fishing there. And Bartlett Park offers, again, shore, boat, and ice fishing. I mean,
how do they have room for anything else? They have so many parks.
it really seems like you could throw a rock in any direction and you'll hit a park.
Let me ask you guys this.
Okay.
They got like 27,000 people that live in Winona.
Yeah.
How many people of those go to the school?
Well, no, that's not what I was going to ask. What I was going to ask is, you think you have to fill out an application to live somewhere like this? Do you think they can have that many parks because you gotta turn your resume in, and you gotta fit in Winona, and you gotta live Winona true.
Wonder if you have
Oh,
volunteer
yeah.
to upkeep the parks.
I would think so.
I would think if you
have to.
lived somewhere like that,
You'd
you'd have enough
volunteer.
pride that it'd be a volunteer.
Well, and
thing.
especially in Winona,
Yeah.
Because you're proud.
salt of the earth kind of people. We covered that last episode.
Yeah.
They
Pure
gotta be
salt of
great.
the earth.
They have to have some flooding there. All these lakes, rivers.
Lakes you don't have to worry about nearly as much as rivers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they also have because I mentioned trout fishing earlier and everything. They actually have alone in this area 38 trout streams
holy,
around the
That's
area.
so
of
many streams.
That's a
They have
lot.
so much
Winona.
water going on.
they have so much going on.
Yeah, but a lot of it's water.
I'm really wondering how much land to water, what the land to water ratio is here.
60-40.
That would be
I'm saying 60-40.
60 water, 40 land.
Yeah. Because it seems like it's a lot of water in parks.
And parks.
I want to
Parks
see
are
their
land.
Parks are land.
park to urban area ratio. Because I'm thinking it's like 90-10.
90-10?
Yeah, 90% parks and outdoor activities and 10% urban environment. Which I'm not mad about. There's a lot of outdoor stuff to do.
Yeah, no.
Don't got to
cannot
worry about
do
all
enough.
that frou-frou stuff.
No.
I want to get some dirt on my hands, climb some trees, and hang on my hammock.
I want to get some dirt on my hands. Be a man.
Yeah, be a man. Get out my hatchet.
You guys are morons.
I want to be like Johnny. I want to be like Johnny Appleseed.
Hey, you didn't bring us here because we're the most intelligent. All right.
We're just entertaining.
I need more. I need more Winona.
You need, what about a little camping?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to go camping in Winona?
So bad.
Oh, I would love to.
If you guys are listening.
Yeah.
Woah3@gmail.com. Let's set this up.
We don't.
I'll
have
even
to-
bring my truck bed tent.
You're gonna drive all the way there.
I'll drive there.
I guess it would really be difficult for me to pack my rucksack into a plane.
Probably just
There's a lot of non-flying items that are in there.
just a few.
Probably the 3 hatchets and machetes and other items I have in there. Probably not ideal on a plane.
So what we got?
Yeah,
Are you
no.
talking like campgrounds, like wilderness camp, stuff like that?
Well, they got a little bit of both. They got, they really offer it all. I mean, we already know this, but they really offer it all. Most of it is just campgrounds, state parks, and stuff like that. In fact, one of the state parks, Great River Bluff, apparently has a great camping ground area, plenty of trails to hike along, several bluffs that you can take some beautiful scenery in, and apparently birding is very popular in the
What?
area.
Like bird sighting?
Birding, yes,
Yeah.
like bird sighting. Like
Okay.
there's.
I've never
apparently-
heard to it referred to as birding, but I
You
guess
haven't?
it makes sense.
Okay. There's apparently a large amount of migratory birds that actually come through that area, as
Okay.
well as a heavy population of bald eagles.
Bald eagles, you say?
Yeah,
The
I do
nation's
say.
bird.
the nation's bird. Because why wouldn't it be in Winona?
You almost
Right.
did it.
I almost did it.
Yeah, you almost had a Dunder Mifflin Sabre Saber situation.
Yeah, Sawberry
That's
Saber.
2 episodes in a row with an Office reference.
I mean, The Office is,
I mean,
if
I
not
don't,
the best, one of the best shows to ever make it on the air.
I don't hate it.
So we need to camp in Winona
Yeah,
Tonight.
tonight.
Yeah.
What
What
did
is
we
it,
look
12
at?
Tonight, we're
hours
leaving
there?
right
No,
now?
we looked it up. It
9
was like
hours.
9.
We can get there tonight. It's only 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
You got to set up in the dark,
Okay.
and then we got to come back tomorrow.
Well,
we need to set it
your
up on a
bed
long
tent is just so convenient.
It
You
is
should be able to
convenient.
set it up in the dark.
Yeah, I can. We just need to work out a long weekend. Hit us up.
work that out somehow.
Hit us up. Someone
If
from
we
Winona.
weren't hunting, I would say Thanksgiving weekend, but we're going to be
We
busy.
will be busy. Hook us up, Winona. Not necessarily the city of Winona. People in Winona.
No, the mayor of Winona. I want an email, and I want you to invite us, and I want you to come camping with us.
We've taken you into our hearts. Take us into yours.
Woah3@gmail.com to the mayor of Winona.
To the mayor. I want him to come camping with us and tell us everything he knows
Okay.
about everything.
Yeah, we'll start with a city tour, then best park recommendation. We'll just go through it.
I
all
want the
with
hidden
mayor.
places.
The hidden
Yeah,
places.
I want access to whatever underground tunnel they've got
The
going
little
on over there.
known. Yeah.
The unknown areas.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. From what I could tell, like, they just offer so much stuff, but it is very, like, not well known to a lot of people.
Oh, it will be.
It's America's best
it's,
kept.
it's their own, yeah, it's their own little treasure that they're just, like, not necessarily trying to keep hidden, but have somehow managed to.
But they're not mad about it because you don't want the riffraff in there
Do we think they're going to be mad at us?
for spreading the word.
So let's just say,
What if they have an
Hey,
influx
hey.
of people?
because of this podcast,
It's
Yeah.
on their website.
It is.
They wouldn't want people to know if it wasn't on their website.
That's true.
that is true.
So it's not our fault.
Hey, if we listen, if we're a year into this thing and we've got a decent followers, subscribers, and listeners, work together. Maybe don't all show up at once. Okay, we'll work it out because by then we'll be best friends with the mayor. We'll have gone camping with
We'll
him,
have gone camping with him, fishing, maybe even hunting,
probably.
because he can grant us a hunting license.
And then we'll work out maybe like a live from Winona, and we'll do something like that. And we'll have you guys
Oh,
show
that'd
up.
be-
We'll
yeah.
sell tickets.
Mayor can do that, right?
Well, we got to listen. We got to talk it up. We got to talk about it with the mayor.
But he could get
But
us
again,
a hunting license, right?
Mayor of Winona. Email us.
Hunting license. I want to go camping. Maybe even some ice fishing.
Yeah.
We would need a license for that though in that state. So you're gonna have to get on that, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Well, what about canoeing and kayaking? Would you like to do some watercrafting?
I mean, I would, but I don't have a kayak. I assume I can rent one.
At Prairie Island Park, you sure can.
You know who I bet has kayaks?
Who has kayaks?
The mayor of Winona,
I'm sure he does.
and he wouldn't mind if we borrowed them with
He probably
with
wouldn't.
him with us.
I mean, I know he's a busy man running this great city and all, but I'm sure he has plenty of time to just take off and do his canoeing and kayaking.
Yeah,
Mayor Scott Sherman.
Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Sherman. Mr. Mayor. We want to camp with you. Security can come. Hey, look, we ain't threatening.
We'll be
We're not
security.
threatening. We want to camp with you, Mayor.
We can secure him.
Well, what 3 at Gmail?
We want it. We want to come. Want to hang out there.
I think it'd be great. Like you said,
We
long
can do some
weekend.
hiking.
Do a little hiking,
Mm-hmm.
a little watercrafting, a little
Mhm.
fishing.
I bet they have big game animals up there too.
Well, I mean, yeah, out there.
Yeah.
100%.
I could be down with that.
I'm sure you could.
I think we should get on this.
I
Or
think-
the mayor should get on it, I guess I should say.
Well, I feel like we kind of have to go 50-50 on this
I mean, yeah.
partnership. We got to do a little work. He's got to do a little work, and then
We'll,
we get
we'll
this
bring
ball
the
rolling.
items.
Yeah.
Whatever he needs. Whatever he wants.
Well, I mean, yeah, he'll provide the venue, and we'll take care of the rest.
And the entertainment. We'll take care of that.
The
Bring a
entertainment as well.
Bring a camping playlist.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Maybe hit
appreciate
it
a
up
good
in Sad
camping
Boy
playlist.
season. Bring some Sad Boy music.
Oh, Sad Boy season is the best.
Mhm.
Well, we'd almost have to go during that season if we want to get ice fishing in.
Yeah. And big game hunting.
Yeah.
That all works out. It's going to be real cold, though.
Man, this is just lining up great.
Other than the fact it's going to be real cold.
Yeah.
We're going to need to stock up on some cold
You
items.
think it'll be too cold for disc golf?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. 100%.
That's unfortunate.
The chains will be frozen.
Okay.
I mean, it may alter the game. I guess we could play. Ground will be slippery.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need. We know I'm not making distance on air. We know I'm making distance once it hits the ground.
So you get the bounce.
You've played enough.
Get
with
the
me.
bounce and the roll.
Yeah,
It'll roll. It won't have any friction. It'll just slide.
exactly.
Might work out for you.
Hell, if the ground's frozen enough, I'll just skip that thing along like
Get a hole in
rock
one?
on the pond. Yeah.
All right. All right. I can understand it.
Oh man.
I want to go hunting there.
Well, that's the thing. We need to experience. You know what? I think we should go once every quarter. Experience all 4 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every quarter. I could be down with that. Maybe
Okay.
not. I assume it's not that hot there in the summer.
I mean, I can't imagine it'd be that bad.
Hilly terrain, north.
Yeah,
Can't
you
be
got
that
your
bad.
valleys.
Can't be that
You
bad.
know, wind blowing
I just
through
don't
the
like the
valleys.
heat.
I'm not a big heat guy either.
No, I sweat
Yeah.
really easily.
Yeah, I think we'd be far enough north it wouldn't be too terrible. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You'd still have to time it right.
True. All right, Mr. Mayor, we're coming. We want an email, but we'll be there anyway. We're showing up soon. What do we think? Next 6 months? Take a trip?
Next 6 months?
Sometime in the next 6 months, we'll be there.
So I'll have a 3-month-old.
Okay, maybe we won't be there.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
Unless, we'll just go ahead. Make it a whole family vacation.
Doesn't sound as fun. Sounds
What? You don't want to bring your wife?
Sounds significantly less fun with all your guys' kids there. Sorry. Not sorry. Outdoor activities with
How?
small children, not fun.
How? I get my kids. Like, you're not related to my kids, but how dare you say that about your relatives?
They're children.
Yeah?
I was
Sure.
treated way worse as a child.
Way worse.
Board games, not allowed because you'll ruin it. Outdoor activities with children is fun for like an hour, and then they get bored. And then the whole point of being outside is it's a serene experience, and you get to relax.
Okay,
And children ruin that.
I will give you that to an extent. I wasn't there, but my parents took my almost 4-year-old out to have a little campfire, roast some
Mhm.
weenies and some marshmallows.
And it was probably fun until the campfire ended.
The campfire ended early because she was like, okay, this has been fun, but I want to go now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but we're having such a good time. Nah.
Once those marshmallows are gone, not interested anymore.
Oh, no, she still came home with like half a bag of marshmallows.
Mm.
I've just got marshmallows chilling in my house.
Kids just
right
don't
now.
have the attention span.
No.
And the whole point is that you want to lose attention. You want to just go out there and just kind of not focus on anything. Well, I mean, I think we got to go
We definitely have to go.
in the next 6 months.
In
No
the next
kids.
6 months, no kids.
I mean,
You're gonna have to work your way around that, but it's gonna happen.
all right.
Well, no, so here's the thing is it's not about the kids or about anything like that. But the whoa what boys need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to whoa what this thing up.
Yeah. I want
Well-
to go there and I want to see so much stuff. I say, whoa, what?
No, I don't know why I didn't think about it before. I mean, before you go taking your family somewhere, you want to scout it out
Got to
first.
scout it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
We
wanna
need
take
to
them
camp
somewhere.
with the mayor.
We do.
Mayor Scott Sherman. We have until 2024.
Well, we have time, but it's gonna be in the next 6
Oh,
months.
okay.
He's gonna get reelected.
Probably.
You're here to hear first. Reelect Mr. Sherman for mayor. I hope he's a good mayor because that's gonna be really bad.
You know what? We had Winona on board, and then you just said that. And then-
Yeah, and they're like, well, we didn't like him.
not knowing anything about him. You said that, and they're like,
Well,
see,
being
man?
how great they are, I assume they like him.
You would think.
You'd think so.
If not, then what I said, take that back. Reelect someone else.
Depending on which side of the aisle you fall on.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to sponsor us will elect that guy.
I couldn't find what political party he was in. Like I was looking to see, just to see if it like kind of flowed with like the rest of the state,
Okay.
but I couldn't find anything. I saw who he ran against. I tried to see what her political affiliation was, or like who supported her, things like that might give that away.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything. So,
Probably not a very large publication.
well, no, I mean, yeah, it was the Winona newspaper,
Yeah.
and I was looking on that. So, I don't know. The state tends to lean more blue. Amy Klobuchar. And stuff
And
like
just
that.
run independent, so if you need that swing vote, you got
Yeah.
it.
All
Yeah.
right.
So is there anything else that we have to know?
I mean, if you'd like a little history of why Sugarloaf Bluff is called Sugarloaf Bluff.
Yeah.
I got
To
a
make
little bit
Sugarloaf?
for you.
Yeah, let's do that to close out.
Okay. I was gonna say it's not a lot here, but they do.
Okay.
If anyone wants to expand on it more, they do through their website have a wonderful page giving a little more in depth of the history here. But just a couple things I found here. It actually apparently is considered one of the most distinguishing marks. I mean, it would have to be considering, we're here talking about it. But it was apparently helped, part of the formation was helped by quarrying in the 1800s of the bluff. It's synonymous with the old Native American legend that depicts it as the cap of Dakota chief. Hope I'm pronouncing this right. Wapasha?
Oh yeah, that's how they named the city.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't get into that
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, that's part of the reasons they named it what it is.
But yeah, apparently he was very well known for wearing a cap and being seen around wearing a special cap. And so when
I hope it had a feather in it.
what?
I hope his cap has a feather in it.
I
It
mean,
did.
I would assume it probably did.
I mean, you got to have a feather.
There-
Or a bald
there-
eagle, maybe, because they're very prominent out there.
There was no pictures with my, historical information that I was given here, but I would assume so. But yes, that's why I was associated with it. He's very well known for wearing this cap around. And but where it got the sugar loaf was early Euro-Americans thought it looked like a loaf of sugar that you'd buy at your local general store. Which,
A loaf
Uh,
of sugar.
thank you. That is exactly where I was about to go because I have never heard of a loaf of sugar.
Yeah, neither
Never
have
have I've heard of a loaf of bread,
Yeah,
which
Is it
has sugar
similar?
in it.
I don't know. Again, I was given no illustrations, but I heard loaf of sugar and I imagined a loaf of bread,
But sugar.
but sugar.
I'm going
and
to go
then
out on
I
a limb and
imagined
assume it's
someone
like
cutting it.
a block of salt for deer.
Okay, you kind of think so?
That would
but
make
with
sense.
sugar
Like a
and
big
a-
sugar cube.
Yeah, I
Big-
mean, I've
big
seen
old
sugar
cubes
cubes.
for
Yeah.
a huge cup of coffee.
We just taking a grater to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Ooh, or maybe they have it on one of those meat spinning things that you just take a knife and slice it down. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
What are
yeah.
those called?
I have no
Like
idea.
I mean,
in,
it's like a
uh,
rotisserie, kind
like-
of, but it's vertical.
It's like what they do for Euros.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say like in Mediterranean restaurants and stuff.
Yeah, and they slice it down like that, but with sugar. That's a lot of sugar.
Awesome.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, like I said, through their website, there's a little more in-depth information on that, but just a few highlights. Yeah, a loaf of sugar is where that's running around.
Well, that is awesome.
It is. I want to find out what a loaf of sugar is. now.
We just need to go to Winona.
And they can show us a loaf.
They can show us.
Do we think
They
they
can
still
show-
have loaves of sugar?
Well, I would assume so, considering
Maybe-
they even have on some of their apparel that they
Mhm.
sell online, several items that say Swedish sugar loaf and
I like that.
things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
The in the email that we were sent had the pictures of the T-shirts. What was it? London, Rome, Paris, Winona.
Yep.
I think you only need one city on there. Just Winona.
And I hope they have hoodies because I want a hoodie.
You want a hoodie?
I want a hoodie.
I did find a zip-up hoodie. Yes.
Is that a jacket?
That's a jacket.
Oh, they have everything. They've got like pencil/makeup cases, long sleeve shirts, tank tops, koozies,
I want a thick hoodie
mugs.
without a zip. I mean, I'll take one with a zip, but without a zip is preferable.
I get it.
I like the pockets for my hands
I'm
that
big
connect.
I'm a big.
I
zip
want to be
guy,
able to
though.
interlace my fingers in my frocket.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just an ideal way to live.
Awesome. Well, maybe we can work something out. Maybe a
Okay.
T-shirt or two. Maybe Aaron can
Swag
get a hoodie.
bag?
Maybe a swag bag. We're back on the swag bag.
Back
yeah,
on the swag bag.
I want a sweatsuit that says Winona on it. And I
Swan-
don't want it to just have like a neutral color and then a little Winona here and a little Winona on my chest. I want like what's common nowadays is how you have an item of clothing and then the brand of that clothing is just as many of the name as you can fit on those
Uh-huh.
items, just all over it. I want that.
You want that in the stuff we all get bag?
Yeah, I want
Swag.
sweatpants or joggers and a hoodie to match, and I
Okay.
want it to have at least 1,000 Winonas on it.
Tracksuit like we're warming up as a.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if you had to choose between your swag bag
Okay.
that no one has said that we're going to get from Winona,
But
No.
it would be nice.
I mean, we can all sit here with our fingers crossed.
We can
Would you rather have the swag bag or would you rather camp with the mayor?
both. I want to show up to our camping trip with the mayor in my swag items.
Wait a second.
I want to camp with the mayor.
I would like to camp with the mayor, but
Again, Mayor Scott Sherman, if you hear this, and you should, email us, woah3@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Do mayors have Instagram accounts?
probably
I mean, he's a person.
in
I
today's
know,
in
but
today's
it's-
climate, yeah.
It's still weird to me. So if you, Mayor Scott Sherman, if you have an
Ooh.
Instagram account, @WoWhatPod.
You know what I bet he has? I
What?
bet he has those massive scissors that you use for like a new building unveiling. I bet he has a pair of those.
Oh yeah.
You know those huge shears?
Yes.
Yeah, I want some of those. I want a massive set of shears that say Winona on it.
More than your swag bag.
Yes.
And more than camping with the mayor.
No, but
Do you want the mayor to present you with the...
yes.
Do you want the mayor...
I want to show up to a campground with a huge ribbon across it and then him cut open the campground with the massive shears to let us camp with him.
Do we want it to be the
That'd be
What
sweet.
campground?
Yes, I want a campground named
We
after
want
us.
it branded?
And I want it to be at
Yes.
the highest point of elevation in Winona.
Whoa.
I want to look over the city. I mean, if we're just asking for stuff.
I mean, I
Might
guess
as well go big.
I guess if you're gonna ask for something, you might as well ask big.
yeah, and then you can negotiate down. Like maybe.
Well, now you just gave it away.
Well,
Now they know what to expect.
I refuse to negotiate.
So he just asked.
We can negotiate down. I
refuse
refuse
to
to negotiate.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that is I think a great place to put a pin in it. We covered hunting, fishing, camping, a bunch of outdoorsy stuff, and maybe most importantly, Winona, Minnesota again. Which brings us to the end of episode 2 about the great outdoors. And before we go, I want to finish this episode by saying one last huge thank you to the people at visitwinona.com and at visitwinona on Instagram. We were so excited to get the opportunity to look into this amazing city in Minnesota. Please, I mean this, go visit visitwinona.com and at visitwinona on Instagram to see what this city can provide. We talked hiking, fishing, climbing, boating. This one little city really does have it all. Thank you, visitwinona.com and at visitwinona on Instagram for allowing us to show our audience what you offer. We cannot wait to plan a trip and camp with the mayor.
Yes.
Again, visit Winona.com and at Visit Winona on Instagram. You will not be disappointed. And that is a whoa what guarantee.
I like that.
So with
It
all
is.
that being said, next week, episode 3, we're going to toss it to something for Aaron. We're going to
All
go
right.
cars and motorsports.
The best thing. One of.
So we'll do that next week. Tune in for that. I know I say this a lot, but if there is something that you guys want to talk about or want us to talk about, at WoWhatPod on Instagram,
Yep.
WoWhat3@gmail.com. Send us something, your favorite car, a story about a car, if you've been to motorsports, stuff like that. Send us those things because we want to talk about it. We
I
want to
kick
hear
it
from you
off
guys.
with a teaser of how the next episode's going to go. Steven, you brought up a Duramax earlier.
Uh-huh.
How many liters is that?
Is it 6.7?
6.6.
Okay, well, it's close.
Your truck, your F-250 is 6.7.
Okay.
Eh.
That is exactly how
Is
it's
there
gonna
or is there not a turbo on it?
be. On the Duramax? There is.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that didn't go as bad as I thought it was going to. but
It'll
I'll
get
find,
worse.
I'll find harder questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for listening. Tune in next week for Cars and Motorsports. We'll snap it around the table here saying, doing our sign-offs. Go ahead, boys.
Double A to the Ron. Out.
Maximus out of here.
And this is Steven. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, WoWhatPod on Instagram, WoWhat3@gmail.com. Send us what you got.